Hi guys, welcome to Reen's Place. Today I am making my keto-friendly, low-carb, nutritional yeast rolls. And I make these for my husband for his lunch. Let me just see if I can see. Okay, so this recipe is going to make 6 rolls, and they're about 2 net carbs each. So pretty good. I will give you all of the macros. Actually, I'll just list them below in the box with the recipe. So what you need for the recipe is coconut flour, almond flour, vital wheat gluten, psyllium husk, nutritional yeast, instant active yeast, sea salt, apple cider vinegar, a cup of hot water, 3 eggs, or if you want you can buy egg whites and use a half a cup of them. That's what I do. And what else? That's it. And I put some pink sea salt in it. This is kind of a lot to measure out, so what I like to do is I have to make it for tomorrow. I'm going to mix it up in my KitchenAid here. But while I'm measuring the ingredients, I'm going to take 2 bags and I'm going to measure out 2 more bags so that next time I only have to get my wet ingredients together and then I'll have my dry ingredients already measured out and I'll just dump them in. So bear with me while I measure stuff out. We're going to do 3 tablespoons of coconut flour. And I'm doing this right in my KitchenAid. If you don't have a KitchenAid, you could surely do this by hand, but I'm lazy. So I'm just getting my KitchenAid beater from the drawer. Okay. Alright, so, and I'm not like precise. 3 tablespoons of coconut flour in each bag. And I'm sorry if this is a long video, but I have to make mine, so I figured I would just tape it. Feel free to fast forward. Okay, so that's 3, and then I'm going to do 3 in the mixer. So we bake this off probably twice a week. Okay, now to that, I'm going to do 1.5 to 2 teaspoons of vital wheat gluten. Honestly, I've been doing 2, and it's the same. Vital wheat gluten. I've been tweaking this recipe for a while, and the original recipe that I found didn't have the coconut flour in, but I find that if you add the coconut flour, it makes it less spongy. If you guys have eaten keto or low-carb bread before, you know a lot of times it's like spongy, and I don't like that texture at all. It feels weird to me. So adding the coconut flour tends to dry it up a little bit, which I like. Okay, so to this I'm going to do 1.25 cups of almond flour. I just keep mine in a canister. People say like, oh, put it in the refrigerator, put it in the freezer, it'll go bad. I don't know what they're baking or not baking, but I'm always running out of it, so it never goes bad at my house. That's 1, and then I'm going to do 1/4. And like I said, having these little bags of pre-measured is so good, especially like Sunday night, getting ready for the work week, and you feel lazy and don't want to be bothered. Okay, so I'm done with that. Let me move this out of the way. Okay, so earlier, before I started filming, what I did was I took a cup of hot tap water. I put 1 teaspoon of dry active yeast on top, and then people have different theories about this. Do what you want. This is what I do. I take literally a pinch of sugar and put it on top, and that activates the yeast, and the yeast is going to eat that sugar, so it's not like there's going to be sugar in the rolls. It's being eaten by the yeast. So we're good with that. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Active dry yeast, you don't even really need it. I just to try to make it go faster. Okay, so again, back to the bowl. We've done the almond flour, See, I want to put you over here so you can see the machine, but I feel like it's better to see the ingredients. And the counter's just too far away. I'm going to do 3 tablespoons of psyllium husk. This is the one that I get. I bought this one off of Amazon. And like this bag, I think the first bag I had probably for months, so it lasts a good long while. And again, that's 3 tablespoons. Some people use a lot of this, but I think that psyllium husk is a weird texture. And so I don't really like it, but I feel like I tried to do less and they didn't come out as good, so I feel like 3 is like the bare minimum. And it's really fine, so it like really sticks to your measuring spoon. I'm gonna put it here so I can tap it. There you go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to do nutritional yeast, and that is this one. Hills Farm. I get this off of Amazon as well. I've had this bag literally forever. It you don't need a lot. I only put 1 tablespoon in, but I think that this is what makes it taste and smell like actual bread. I wish you had smell-o-vision. It smells really good. All right, I'm going to put a tablespoon in each. It already smells like bread now. Just the kitchen smells it from this. Okay. I have it all over me. And then I'm just going to use some pink sea salt, and I'm going to grind it in the bags. About a teaspoon, they say. I don't measure. I just crank it in there. Okay. So again, before I started filming, and let me just say, these bags are done. This is all your dry ingredients. And then I'm going to go back to the wet real quick to show you. So now this will be, next time I make it, I'm going to dump this in the mixer and I'm going to add the wet ingredients. So let me move these out of the way. Okay. I have a cup of hot tap water, 1 teaspoon of active yeast, and literally a pinch of sugar in there. Then I have a half a cup of egg whites. Or if you don't have the liquid, just use 3 egg whites. It should be close enough. And then to the egg whites, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. Okay, so on the days that I'm making out of the bag, all I do is I dump the bag in my mixer, I measure out the liquids, I let this sit while I just like to mix this out like this. So it's usually after dinner. That's my Fred. It's the mixer win. It's usually after dinner, like after Chuck's gone to bed, I start making the bread. And so I just give this a couple mixes in the KitchenAid like this, and then put it on low. And then I'm going to add the yeast in the water. Can you see? You can't see. Let me see on this side. And then there's always like yeast left in the thing. So what I like to do is I pour, because I'm crazy, I pour the eggs and the vinegar in there, and I kind of just try to get the rest of the yeast off of there. Okay. And now I'm going to add that in. And you're going to see it looks like real sloppy and loose, but that psyllium husk and the almond flour and the coconut flour, it's really going to absorb the liquid, and what you're going to get left with is like a sticky paste. What I like to do is I like to let the KitchenAid run for 3 minutes, so let me set my timer. Alexa, set a timer for 3 minutes. Okay, and while my 3 minutes is going, I'm going to clean this stuff up, and then I will come back to you and we'll get these ready on a baking sheet. Okay, so I'm back. My timer just went off. 3 minutes. I was able to wipe down the counter, put all the ingredients away, and wash a couple of things. I have a cookie sheet lined with a mat, or if you don't have that, you can use parchment paper. And then this is what the dough looks like after 3 minutes. Kind of like cookie dough, but real sticky. So what I like to do is get a spatula. Yeah, my spatula. Okay. Okay, so I get my spatula and I clean the thing off. And then if you are using your KitchenAid, I suggest either wash this right away or soak it right away because it turns like a rock. Okay, so then I just pull it away from the bowl like this. I try to do as little touching as I have to because it's that sticky. Okay. I get it kind of in a ball in the bowl, I should say, okay? And then I'm going to dump it on my silicone mat. And now I'm going to go wet my hands quick. So literally just wet my hands, and I'm going to try to work quick. Okay, then again, using my hands, I did like kind of a rectangle, and I'm going to do 3 pieces. I don't weigh them. I'm not really that concerned how accurately sized they are. If you feel like one's a little small, grab some from a different one and do, fix it. I'm just going to wet my hands again. I normally do this over by the sink, and then this way I just keep the tap running real low, and it really helps out. Okay, and don't worry about all the smushes on the mat. That's fine. Okay, so what I have now is during that 3 minutes, I put my oven on 350 degrees to preheat it. The preheating is important. I'm stealing a little. Okay, so I just make them round-ish. These are small rolls. That one's very small. Let's see. I'll steal a little from this guy. I think you can use a little. There we go. Okay. Okay, so 6 rolls. What I do, and I don't know why this works, being that I know there's yeast in here, but these are like super dense, and I know they're not, they don't rise, but for some reason, if you let them sit like this on top of the preheated oven for 15 minutes before you bake them, they come out 10 times better. They will rise in the oven, but they don't rise before you stick them in, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go stick these on top of my oven. I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes, and when that timer goes off, put them in your oven, set your timer for 50 minutes. That's how long they take to cook. Again, there will be no difference in what they look like now than what they will look like in 15 minutes, but it obviously does something because the one time I didn't do it, they looked horrible. They were very dense, they didn't rise, they were just off. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to stick this pan on top of I don't cover them, nothing. Just stick it on top of your oven that's warming. Set your timer for 15. After 15, they go into 350 for 50 minutes. And I will come back after they come out. Hi guys, we're back. It's okay, it's more than 50 minutes since the last time when I paused. We had dinner. They came out of the oven and I just let them sit here to cool. We had dinner and now I'm coming back. But you could see that they did rise. And I'm going to cut 2 of them open to show you what they look like. Not bad. I mean, they are a little bit spongy. They're definitely not like bread, but if you haven't had bread in a while, this will definitely fit the bill. And they're just like 2 net carbs each. So let me do another one. That one's got a little bit of a hole in it, but that's good. All right. So I hope you guys give this recipe a try if you are on low carb. And I will put the exact ingredients and measurements down below, as well as the macros for it. So if you have any questions that I can answer, I'll do my best. If not, you guys could plug the ingredients into Carb Manager and try them out for yourself. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so already, please hit that red subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and look back for more new